This is a participatory session, so I'm going to let everybody in. I will start as soon as I do. If you want to join in, just do. This session is a short session, and in this one, it's a bit of it's our session in a way. I'm going to let you know what we do on think tanks, on research, and present how we can work together. And then the participatory part, it's on how and what we should focus our research interest on. So let me share my presentation and welcome everybody that's application. So we have just been, I don't know if, right. We have just been working on our research agenda and have just been reshifting it and trying to make it fit, not fit, trying to adjust it to our different interests. And so this doesn't look very well. Sorry, 1 second. Right. So we've now divided the work that we do on four different issues that we want to look into. So we want to look into the evidence-informed policy environment. So the space in which the different actors engage and interact in foreign policy. So this is what we want to focus our work on. Then we focus our work on policy research organizations themselves, so their functioning, the history, the makeup of policy within themselves and as a sector. So in the first area, we're looking for research like the one that Francois and Andrea presented. So the space in which actors engage, so the epistemic justice, who has a voice, who hasn't, what is the context like? So that's one line of research. The other one is on policy research organizations in themselves. So their leadership, their functioning, assessing how they work, the history of them, the history in different environments. So how does a think tank environment differ in Peru than in Vietnam? And within themselves and as a sector. So in this area, it's our work on the Open Think Tank directory, which I'm going to share with you later on because we have some fresh data set that is very interesting and anyone can look at it and look into it and research. Then we have interaction with other actors. So the engagement and position of the organizations, how they engage, how different actors, which actors are key in this environment, and finally we have some cross-cutting issues that affect transversally all the different factors that we've been doing. And why am I presenting this? It's because I would like to ask you for some support on what should we focus our research on and gather ideas from you, and also maybe find collaborations between us for future work. So I did this first. Sorry, that was my attempt of a graph of what we've been doing. I've just recently had some feedback that that's not the best one, so I'm going to redo it. But this is basically what we want to focus on. So the actors, the cross-cutting issues, the environment, and policy research organizations in themselves. But I'm now going to share how can we collaborate, and this is something if you are researching think tanks and evidence-informed policy environment, we have a working paper series. So if you have a paper, we're publishing different work on think tanks, and we also like to publish the work of new researchers or more established ones. So if you have something that you're interested in publishing, please get in touch with us. And then we are building to establishing our network of researchers. So this is a network an informal network that we have with different colleagues, researchers, to build bridges in the think tank, the the niche of researchers that studies think tanks and evidence-informed policy. So if you are interested in this, please get in touch. And finally, I'm just going to go to the participatory session and let you know. So the focus of this year is we're analyzing data on the Open Think Tank directory. We are working on a publication on a state of the sector publication with data from the directory, which has data on 4,000 organizations so far from all over the world, from where they're based, what they focus on, their leaders, we try to gather data on funding, but as we've been seeing from Ben's presentation, that's very difficult. So we have a little bit of that, but we have the Twitter accounts, social media followers, LinkedIn accounts. So it's a broad data, and it lets us explore it in very interesting ways. So it's not casual, but it's more of a correlation. It's not causality, but correlation. So we have the gender of the funders, if that affects in any way, if there's a relationship in any way with the topics that think tanks focus on. The gender of the leader. We also have historical data from 2016 on some think tanks. So who has been the leader for the 4 last years? And we can then see if that has an impact. So when looking at specific cases, so I do invite everybody to look at it and to play with it and to use it. And if you use it, just let us know how you've used it, and we'll be happy to share the work that you've done. And for this year, the main topics that it's emerging as an issue is, and I think it's been an issue for quite a while, it's gender, diversity, race, and inequality in think tanks. So both as in the context, as Francois was saying, but also within them. So that's the work that Marcos is doing on diversity. Leandro was proposing something on gender as well. Ajo proposed something on race. And so how all these different aspects perpetuate inequality and perpetuate the lack of diversity, and how that affects the voices of the people that the voices that get represented, and how that affects policymaking. So that's one of our big issues. And now for the interactive part, if you can go to this website Menti, I'm going to share this link, or you can and input this code 524478, and this is. Sorry. If you can go on this link, this is the first time I'm trying this, so I'm going to share what you will see. 1 second. Right. So I wanted to ask you 2 questions there. It's easier if you do this on your phone. You can just go onto Menti, or you can scan this QR code. 1 second. Oh, sorry. If you scan this QR code, it will take you to the survey. And I wanted to ask you, what should research on think tanks focus on? You will be asked to input something, and it'd be great if you do. This is the first time I'm trying this, so yes, please do. Sorry. And you will all see what you comment on here. Right. I think, oh, great. So the role of think tanks in change policy environment in a tech and politicized world. I'm gonna wait for someone else to comment. But if the person who shared this wants to let us know a bit more what this would be, please, you can have the floor. I've let everybody in. We wanted to do this because we never have a chance to speak or to discuss with the people that we work together and with this network. And I found this to be an interesting way to hear more voices and not just the from people that I'm in continuous relationship with. So inequality in funding, gender equality, diversity. Okay. So again, within this, looking across the different aspects that affect inequality. So translation of policy to action, what works? So that would mean how a policy that has been passed leads to action. So implementation research in a way. So how to the research on how to implement specific policies and how to go about that better. If not, please comment again. So the other one is new ways to connect with stakeholders in the post-COVID world. What lessons can we take from this experience? Okay, thank you. Yes, COVID-19 and the different issues that it's raising on how to deal with it and all the other aspects of our lives that it's influencing. It's also something that needs to be researched, and how that has influenced research. We started and have not we're in the process of developing a piece of work on Twitter and think tank. So with the database, with the directory, we have access to Twitter accounts. So we've mapped the tweets from organizations on the past 3-4 months, and we're trying to assess the functions of think tanks on social media on the pandemic. If anyone's interested on that and is big on data, please get in touch, because we like to assess if they've had what roles have they played, what information are they sharing, what are they contesting, are they supporting, are they advising, what is it that they're doing. And so if nobody else has a comment, I think this is really good. It was my first try as this something a bit more participatory. I don't know if anyone wants to jump in and suggest something else that we research. The idea is that we build proposals, and then with those of you who are interested, we can then go and ask funders for their support, or we can find some resources ourselves to look into these issues. So anyone interested in these topics, it would be great to know from you as well, and see and collaborate. And without to so I don't drag this along. Thank you for these suggestions, and the academic session has ended for now, for today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we have another session in an hour. If you want to stay along, you can go to networking, you can go to any of the booths, or you can talk directly with people, as Kiki was saying. And again, thank you for being here, and it's been great to have this first session. And with that, goodbye and thank you.